that you've made with grapes. Hannah.
12 times 1.
12 times 1, so how many grapes did you have?
I had 13.
13. So you took the 12 grapes, and then you took the one that was left over, and you multiplied those two numbers. Okay, class, what is 12 times 1?
12.
Alright, maybe one other example. Oscar?
9 times 7.
Which is?
63.
Okay, class, what is 9 times 7?
63.
Alright, go ahead and take your grapes. When I say go, take your grapes, put them back into your cup, and then I would like for you to put your pencils down. So you're taking your grapes, put them in your cup, pencils down, go.
I can make the larger one.
Praying hands. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay, so today we are going to learn how to solve word problems. Okay, yes, Oscar. I will let you know when you can eat your grapes. Not yet, because we aren't done using them yet. Okay, so today we're going to learn how to solve word problems. Some of the things that you have to keep in mind when you're solving word problems are what? Think about some of the things that you have to remember when you're solving word problems. Think about it and share on 3. 1, 2, 3. Victor, can you discuss rhythm and Hannah? Yeah? Can you two discuss? Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Alright, what are some of the things you discussed with the people around you? No one discussed? Will you discuss it again? Yes, Rohan.
Don't answer without reading the whole thing.
So don't answer it without reading the whole thing? Good. Sometimes I think that we can read a word problem and then we'll just say, oh, well, we need to multiply the numbers together because there are numbers there. So yeah, read the entire problem. That helps us. Joa?
Read the problem and then look at the two numbers and look for where it says what you're doing, plusing or minusing them, and then
What if you're not plusing or minusing them?
or timesing them,
Or
or
dividing
dividing them.
them. Yes. All right, one more. Judah.
Remember that it's times not.
For what? For word problems, yeah? So Judah says that just remember that it needs to be either multiplied or divided. Well, we're going to do some practice today, and we're going to think about, we're going to use some strategies. But before we do that, I have a story, so eyes are on me.
Eyes on you.
Okay. So last night, I was at the market, and I was trying to buy some supplies for the rest of the week for me. I'm still waiting for eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
And I was trying to buy supplies, and I was also thinking about, well, I'm teaching this math lesson tomorrow, and I could just do some things from the book and just have students practice over and over and over again some word problems that I make up. When I was walking by the big bin of grapes, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. grapes are out. That's pretty neat. And then I noticed that on the sign for both of the grapes, they had written on the sign like per kilogram how much it costs. And if I remember right, looking at the sign, it costs like 15 rupees per 1 kilogram. And so I'm thinking, all right, how much would it cost if I bought 2 kilograms? I'm like, oh well, I'm just like, I don't know if I can pay for that. I don't know if I have enough money for that. I'm like, well, there might not be enough for all of you to have as many grapes as you have if I only buy 2. So I'm like, if I buy 3, how much is that gonna cost? I'm kind of confused by that. And so I'm thinking, wait a minute. I feel like some of the students in year 4 are thinking, we're never going to use these math facts that we keep practicing over and over again. But you know what I had to do in my head at the market? I had to do multiplication in my head, whether or not I would actually have enough money. Do you think that you'll ever have to do that whenever you go to the market and buy something? Or when you get older, whenever your parents might send you to the market if they forget some grapes, or if they forget a cucumber or a vegetable for dinner, do you think your parents might ask you to go to the market and buy some stuff, and you're like, whoa, I don't know if they sent me it with enough money. And so you have to be thinking about, all right, well, 1 kilogram costs 15 rupees. Okay, so if I buy, mom asked me to buy 2 kilograms, so I wonder if I have enough money for that. That's mental math that you're doing right there, okay? So what I want to do now is I'm going to try practicing first together what we're going to be working through today. So there's some questions whenever you're working through a word problem that I think we should always ask. And you can write this down on your paper if you want to. You don't have to, but you can write it down if you want to. That helps you focus. So the first thing is, what do I know? That's the first question that you always ask when you're working through a word problem. After I read whatever information is there, what do I know from that? Second thing is, it all important? Sometimes, when we read word problems, in order to make sure that you're not just looking at the problem and thinking, all right, we're going to do 12 times 3, and that's the answer. So instead of doing that, I might, or Mrs. KC and Ms. Pritchie might throw in random information just to make sure that you're not just looking at the numbers and going, whoa, that's what I need to do. So we might throw in information just to make sure that you're really focused and you understand what you're doing when it comes to the word problem. And the last one is, what am I finding? So it's asking, like, what is the problem actually asking from me? Okay? So let's work with the example of the grapes. I just told you that for 1 kilogram, of what? Of what?
Grapes.
Of grapes, it cost 15 rupees. And I want to know how much would 2 kilograms cost? So think about it. How much would 2 kilograms cost? Ask yourselves these 3 questions, and then share with your partner those 3 questions on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So which question are you on? Well, first of all, what do you know? Is it all important? All the information that you know, is it all important? Yeah? And what's it asking you to find? Okay. And what did you say, Simon? You had to. That makes sense. Okay. Class? Yes. Try it again. Class?
Yes.
Alright, I want to hear 2 examples. I already talked to one group. I want to hear 2 more examples of what you talked about with your partner or the people around you. Yes, Nika. Okay. And then what were you finding? How much 2 kilograms would cost? Yeah. So she just told me that for each kilogram, it's 15 rupees. That's what she knows. So 1 kilogram equals 15 rupees. And then she said that it was all important because the question, the third thing that she asked, it told her that she needed to find 2 kilograms. So she used that information and she doubled it. So to double something, you can either multiply it by 2 or you can do what? Add the same number again, yeah? Okay, so I would like for you to turn over your paper, flip on your desk, turn over your paper. That's on your desk. And a hush from the crowd. I'm going to read number 1 together, and I'm going to read number 1 to you, and then we're going to do it together, okay? So number 1 says, Justin, Carl, Ryan, and Will each have 72 cards. The cards were all red. How many do they have in all? So the first thing that we're going to ask ourselves is, what do I know? Someone tell me something that we learned from just reading that problem. What do I know? What do I know just from reading that problem? Hannah?
That the question is 70.
We're not there yet. I like how I want to answer the question, but what do we know, first of all, before even trying to figure out what it's asking us? What do we know from that? Do I need to read it again? Yeah, read it again. Justin, Carl, Ryan, and Will each have 72 cards. The cards were red. How many do they have in all? What do we know from those 3 sentences? Joa.
That all of them have 2 cards, and that we have to, and that there is 4 people, and we have to figure out how many cards they have all together, and the cards are red.
We know that there are 4 people. And what color are the cards in class?
Red.
All right. And is that all that we know? Judah.
That's the question would be.
What do we know? We'll get to the question. We'll get to the question. What do we know? There's one other important piece of information that we haven't figured out yet, or that we haven't pulled from the three sentences. Yes, Nika. Okay. 72 cards. Alright, so that's what we know. Is all of that important?
No.
Okay. I want to hear what you think is not important. Hamid, what do you think is not important?
The cards, all of them are red.
Okay, so what I want you to do is, in the sentence, on number 1, I want you to make one line through the sentence that says, the cards were red. Make a line through the cards were red. That doesn't really seem useful to me, does it? Yeah. So we just did number 2. Number 3, the question. This is what all of us, or some of us, wanted to jump right to answer right away. So what's it asking us? What's the question? Someone tell me. Ethan?
72 times 4.
What's the question? It's on your paper, if you need to look at your paper. What's the question that it's asking us?
Justin, Carl, Biden will have 72 cards. How many do they have in all?
Okay, so the question is, how many do they have in all? So the question is, how many total cards do they have in all? Now that we have figured out what we know, and we've also figured out, alright, some of it was not important. And now we can answer the question of, what am I finding? Now we need to figure out what operation we're going to use. So I want to hear some of your opinions about which operation you think we should use to solve this problem. Jin, what do you think?
72 times 4, because there's 4 people and they all have 72 cards.
Okay, so there are 4 people, and each of those 4 people have how many cards?
72.
How many cards, class?
72.
72. So on your paper, work out this multiplication problem. 72 times 4. On your paper, work out this multiplication problem. Josh has showed me he's done. All right, eyes on me. Okay, so what is 72 times 4, class?
288.
288. Okay, number 2. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's go to number 3. So go to number 3. Can I have a volunteer to read that out loud? Number 3. Joa, can you read number 3 out loud?
There are 64 rules per pack. 9 are sold. Each ruler is written. How many rulers are left?
Okay. First thing, what do I know? Someone raise their hand and tell me what I know from just reading number 3. Hannah. So the problem told me that it was subtraction. It said, you need to subtract, Hannah. No. What did just looking from the problem, what do the words tell me? Tim, please don't waste our pencils. Victor.
There are 64 rulers packed.
Okay. So it's telling me that there's 64. What else do we know? Judah.
9 are sold.
9 are sold. Okay, what else do we know? One more thing. Siam.
That the rulers are wooden.
The rulers are wooden, okay? I don't think we know anything else. So the second question is it all important?
No.
No, it's not. Someone tell me which sentence is not important. That will not help us. Josh.
Each ruler is wooden.
That will help us?
No.
No, I don't think it will either. Go ahead and cross. Each ruler is wooden. That will not help us. Cross it out once. Alright, now that we figured out if it all was important, what is the question asking us to do? What is the question that we are trying to answer? Rhythm and time. Victor, what's the question actually asking us?
How many rulers are left?
How many rulers are left? Good. So how are we going to get there? Someone tell me how we're going to get there. Nika, how are we going to get there? 64. 64 what? 64 what, class? 64 what, class? Minus 9. Do 64 minus 9 on your paper. Go. For number 3, underneath number 3. 64 minus 9.
64.
Right, the question is asking you to figure out.
This fact doesn't need it.
I know what it is. So, class, what is 64 minus 9?
55.
So, the answer to number 3 is 55. What? 55 what? Is it 55 dogs?
This one's like
55 Tims? No, it's 55 what? Rulers. Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Head up still. Find the circles on your desk. And I would like for you, if you feel okay about what we just learned, to flip it to green on 3. So if you feel okay about what we've learned, you can open your eyes to find it. Go. And if you're still wondering or still working through it, leave it on red. Alright, go ahead and open your eyes. Alright. If you decided to move your circle to green, you may go to the assigned location. So, for when I say you're dismissed, go ahead and get your materials that you'll need. So, for circle group, you will need a sheet and challenge tree is what you are working on. So, circle group, you are dismissed. Go.
Put this away. Recycle.
No, let's keep that actually. Class.
Yes, yes.
I want you to keep your, actually I want you to turn in the sheet that we just answered. Turn it in. And now, some friends are still moving and I can't give clear directions because you're not listening when you're moving. You may take your grapes to your workspace and eat it, okay? I expect that all of the grapes that are not eaten aren't wasted. If you don't want your grapes, go ahead and put them on Miss Pretty's desk. And I want all the cups to be stacked on Miss Pretty's desk.